Well, monkeypox is a viral disease. These infections come in different forms. We have bacteria, viruses, parasites, but monkeypox is a viral disease. So it was first found, the reason why it's called monkeypox in the first place is because it was found among monkeys in 1958 in Denmark. So what happened was it was a controlled isolation. They kept some monkeys together and found out that there was an outbreak of a disease that caused them to have rashes. So it had never been heard of among humans before, at least it wasn't reported. Then in 1970, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, there was an outbreak for the first time affecting human beings of monkeypox. It was found in a 9-year-old boy. So since then, we've been having some outbreaks here and there in different parts of Africa primarily. The only time it's been found outside Africa was in America in 2003, where some people who had contact with some particular types of dogs, they ate them or they had contact with them. That's when they developed monkeypox. So primarily, we call it a zoonotic viral infection. It means it's primarily found among animals. But occasionally, it's been seen among human beings. So that really is what monkeypox is. Well, it's very transmissible from first, there are two divisions. First, from animals to human beings, and then from humans to humans. The main form, most of the transmissions take place from animals to human beings. So if an animal is sick, infected with monkeypox, a human being can contract it. How? Now, touching, handling sick animals, eating sick animals, especially, we know bushmeat is a delicacy in this part of the world. So if a rodent is infected with the virus and you eat the rodent, that's the bushmeat, the rat, it's very likely for you to get it. So I'm not saying all rodents contain monkeypox, but those that are infected, if you eat them, it's likely for you to get it. That's why even the Federal Ministry of Health warned that everyone should avoid bushmeat this period, at least. Now, because it's called monkeypox doesn't mean it's only monkeys that have it. We've talked about human beings. Rodents can also have it. So we're talking about squirrels, we're talking about rats. So it's found also in these animals. Then touching them. So if you have an animal around you, it's not time that is sick. It's not time to start touching it or playing with it with your bare hands. So that's another method. Then from humans to humans, by touch, by being in the same room with someone who has monkeypox, because it's spread by air droplets. So when you sneeze, when you cough, those things cause the virus to spread in droplets. So another person could inhale it and all that. So, but there has to be close contact. The same way, if someone who has monkeypox touches something, it's likely for you to get it. So it's present in sweat, tears, urine, blood. Okay, that's one of the reasons why health workers too are prone to it. We heard a doctor was part of those quarantined because of this infection. So you stay away from people who might have contacted this virus. So it's good to follow the news too. So you follow the news. If they say it's reported in a new state, you find out and you take precautions. Okay. Also limiting handshakes, especially this period too. For us health workers, the first thing is everybody has to have a high index of suspicion. You have to suspect when you find out this virus is reigning. So anybody who is sick, you have to report it. Especially when they talk about the symptoms, you have to report it. And then when someone is diagnosed with monkeypox, or if someone is suspected to have monkeypox, the first step health workers do is to isolate the person. And we do what we call barrier nursing. So the care of the patient, we are not going to touch the patient with our bare hands. We're going to use gloves. We're going to use protective equipment, including face masks. And most hospitals nowadays would adopt face masks. I won't personally see a patient now without wearing face masks or gloves because of the mode of transmission. So the person is first isolated. Now, there is no treatment or cure specifically for monkeypox. So what do we do? We try to support the person through the person's symptoms. If you find the person has a fever, you support. You give your drugs that will bring down the fever. If you find the person has rashes, we try to give drugs that would decrease the rash. So it's just supportive based on the symptoms the person shows. If the person has painkiller, has headaches, has muscle pains, we give painkillers to try to, you know, bring down the symptoms. But there is no right now specific cure for it. So that's one of the reasons why we have to be vigilant. And then hopefully we are going to win the war against this virus. Yeah, about death. Monkeypox is fatal. Yes, it is. But it's not the scale. We're not talking about Ebola kind of fatal or smallpox kind of fatal. The rates from previous outbreaks that have happened around Africa estimate it from 1 to 10% of people will die. 1 to 10%. Now compare this to Ebola. Ebola has more than 50%. More than half of people who have Ebola die. So it's less dangerous. It's not as contagious as Ebola. At the same time, it's not as dangerous, as virulent. It's not as virulent as Ebola. But that doesn't mean we should take it any lightly. I'm not aware of any deaths so far, but I'm aware a lot of people have been infected. So it depends basically on the complications that could happen. If someone goes down really, really ill, or for some reason the person's immunity is really low, that's when monkeypox is more likely. Also, it's reported that most of the deaths of monkeypox happen among children. So it's more likely for a child to die from monkeypox than an adult. My advice to Nigerians is to stay calm but cautious. We don't want you to panic. We don't want you to, hide yourself, lock yourself in your house. You could go to work and all that, but I remember when we had Ebola in this country and how everybody was very sensitized and we were able to control it. It's no different. So it's not as bad as Ebola, but we should use the same level of caution. So hand sanitizers appropriately, avoid unnecessary contact, especially with sick people. Make sure your hands are sanitized. Don't treat every fever as malaria. If you feel ill, because one of the first symptoms of monkeypox is fever. Okay, fever happens 1 to 3 days before a rash comes. So if you are feverish for any reason, don't self-medicate. Go to the hospital. Let the doctor examine you. Let him confirm that you have malaria before you treat yourself. So it's time for us to be vigilant. Not panic, not panicking. Don't panic, relax, be calm, but be vigilant. Okay? And also inform your friends. Discuss with your family members. Because if one of them gets infected, the chances of you becoming infected is very high. So that's my advice to Nigerians.